Welcome to Cowgirl Up, the podcast dedicated to elevating your mindset. I'm your host, Laurie Blickenstaff, certified mental performance coach at mentalgame101.com. Well, here we are, the end of a really big week. And I just want to take a minute before we dive in to say, if you have shown up every single day this week, that's not a small thing. Your subconscious is getting fed, your RAS is being trained, and you're making a dent in those 66 days to real change. So, pat yourself on the back for that. And then let's do a quick recap of the week because I just really want this stuff to hit home. So Monday, we introduced your subconscious, that powerful 95% of the time engine that's running your thoughts and emotions, and of course your performance, and all of that mostly on autopilot. And then Tuesday, we learned that your subconscious doesn't judge what you feed it. It accepts what you give it as truth and gets busy making your reality match. Which means we have both a responsibility and an opportunity in how we talk to ourselves and what we allow into our minds daily. Then Wednesday, we met the RAS, your brain's filter, and learned that what you focus on is literally what your brain goes looking for. And we talked about why don't miss or don't tip a barrel, anything with don't in front of it, is one of the least helpful things you can think before a run. And also we talked about how to redirect to what you actually want instead. And then Thursday, we looked at the research on how long this takes, about 66 days on average for a new thought pattern to become automatic. And we were also reminded that it's not about time, it's about repetition. So consistent daily repetition. And all of it, every single piece of what we talked about, points to the same conclusion. You are not at the mercy of your thoughts. Those thoughts that randomly show up in your head, you get to choose what you feed your subconscious. You get to direct your RAS. You get to do the daily work that rewires your brain toward the mindset of a winner. Now, I want to spend just a moment on this week's power statement because I really want you to own it going into the weekend, and especially if you're competing. And that is, I feed my subconscious and it works for me. So make that your mantra this weekend. And basically, when you say that, you're declaring ownership of your thought life. You're saying, I know how this works, and I am choosing to take action every day in the arena and out of it. So this weekend, whether you are competing, practicing, or just chilling, just really try to notice what you're feeding your subconscious. Be aware so that you can check those unhelpful thoughts and trade them for new ones. And then trust that every one of those intentional thoughts is building a highway to get you to what you want. Now, just a little teaser for next week. Next week, we're diving into something that might be one of the most impactful weeks we've had on Cowgirl Up so far. We're talking about purpose, our why, and how knowing it changes everything about the way we think, the way we speak, and the way we show up in the arena and in life. So if you've ever felt like something bigger is driving you, but you haven't quite been able to put words to it, you're going to want to tune in every single day next week. I'll see you back on Monday. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you have any questions, feedback, or comments, I'd love to hear from you. Email me at Laurie@mentalgame101.com.